Hi, this is Philip with RTX Honeybees. It's Monday, April 10th, 2023. My oldest son, our oldest child, Noah's birthday. Happy birthday, Noah. Uh, Today's task is going to be to move this cult swarm that was in that bush that's right over my shoulder there to uh, this 5-frame nuke to a full-size box. I peeked in it this morning. It looks like it's got plenty of population. I can go ahead and move it to a full-size box. It was a decent-sized swarm. Let's get these moved over. I've already gotten stung twice. When I was setting up the camera, I got stung on the side of the nose. When I flipped my veil on, a bee was trapped in the veil and stung me on the back of the neck. So if I'm sniffling a lot, it's because I got stung on the nose. So that's usually what happens. My sinuses drain. If I find the queen, I will mark her. I do not know. I'm assuming these came from my colonies. I thought it came from that colony over on my right, but when I went into there, I didn't see any queen cells, so it may not have. This swarm was caught on either April 30th or 31st, and it's now the 10th, so that's 11 or 12 days ago. So if I see very little capped brood, I'm going to assume it was a virgin, and she's just started laying, and I'll mark her red. If it's got a significant amount of capped brood, which it should, then we'll call it last year's queen and mark it yellow. A lot of bees in here. If I can tip that up, show you guys how many bees. I don't smoke too much until I know their demeanor. A couple of these frames in here were completely undrawn. I know this one was completely undrawn. So this is what they've drawn so far. Mostly pollen. Where did I pull that out of there? I assume I pulled it out this way. Yeah, there's a good bit of capped brood in here, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that this was last year's queen. If we find her, we'll mark her yellow, if she's not marked already. Seems so far to be pretty docile, which means I don't think they came from that mean colony. It probably gets moved this weekend to the farm. Yeah, there's a good bit of capped brood in this frame. Oh, there she is. And she is marked yellow, which means she swarmed out of one of my existing colonies. I'm not sure which one. Actually, you know what? She may. Let me show her to you guys. You see her? I'll give you a second to try to find her. Don't have to mark her. She's right there. I'm feeling like she probably swarmed out of this flyback split, because that queen had a similar mark to that. I believe that was the queen that I got out of. I did a flyback split with this colony, and I believe I put her back in there. So I believe they might have absconded out of there. I'll check for the amount of bees in there. That barking looks familiar to me. Boy, she has laid up a ton of brood in here. So that's why they're growing so fast. My plan for this colony, if they can fill up this box, if they can fill this box up by May 1st, my plan is going to be to do single deep brood management with them and harvest honey out of the medium above them. That's if they can, if they've got 20 days to, they've got 20 days to draw out that much comb. So encourage that. I'm going to go ahead and split their brood nest a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. Because I'd really like them to keep drawing that comb up. That's their swarm, so they can do it. Well, that didn't work that great. I didn't get many bees out of there. Still a whole lot down in there. So what I'm going to do now is just set it like this. They'll walk in. All right. Okay, that's done. I'm gonna go ahead and look into these and see what's left in there. Because it seemed like every bee that would have been in that swarm should have been in that box, if that's where that queen came from. Let's have a look in this one over here. A lot of bees over here. Let's just see what we got. They came from there. I have a hard time believing that because you can see there's still a good number of bees in that box. So, but they could have. Keep looking in there and see what we got. Got a little bit of nectar stored in it. See a queen there. Honey and pollen. Some brood. Honey and brood on this side. This at the bottom is just, oh, nope. There's a cell. Yep. There's a capped queen cell right there. It would not be capped unless they started on that themselves. If it was one that I missed during the flyback split, it would already be emerged. But it's a really nice swarm cell. Now, if I find more of these, it's going to be very tempting of me to try to figure out a way to make a split. Take care not to damage that one. That cell right there is nicer than any of the emergency cells that the bees made when I did the flyback. if there's any more of those. The great thing about this box is I can quickly divide it into 3 compartments. So if I find another cell, I literally can move it to this back compartment and then it'll hatch and become its own colony, which would be quite exciting for me, because I would be getting yet another queen off of that queen that I was breeding from anyway. But there were only a couple of things of brood in here, so I think that one is the only one I'm going to get, unless I see a virgin in here. Oh, that's more brood. Although she may have laid eggs immediately, and then they may have drawn cells off of them. Yeah, no cells on that though. Come on, give me one more cell so I can put this queen mating nuke to work. I think if we don't see it on this one, we're not going to see it, because there was only about 4 frames in here that were even drawn out. Yeah, that's our only queen cell, so it looks like we're going to have to call this a supersedure more than well, I don't know. It's not really a supersedure, I guess, if they swarm. It's just a single swarm cell. We're just gonna go with it. Hopefully they will make a great queen with it. It looked like it's really close to emerging. Put them back together. Hope for the best. All right, so this swarm came from this box. When I did the flyback split, they made a cell, or maybe they already had a cell. No, there's no way they had a cell, because that was 9 days ago, and those cells were already mature. So they would have started a cell probably. They may have swarmed when it was an open cell. I don't know, but regardless of the reason, this has a really nice cell, just one of them, and hopefully they make a nice queen. This is Philip with RTX Honeybees. Thanks for watching.